I'm in a good mood today. I'm in a creative mood. I feel like building. I feel like expanding upon the horizons of my reality. Crazy. How is everyone doing today? We've actually got a whole bunch of people here with me. Let's see. We've got Jedko. We've got Mr. Hades. We've actually got Greylock. Paul R. Schneider. Steven Scarborough. Lots of people here. Let's see. Sponsors in the room. We got Jedko. And our moderators today are going to be Hades and Greylock. Brace yourselves, ladies and gentlemen. I do believe Strider C is here in voice chat with me. He might be muted. Let me make sure everybody can hear him. I think it's gray and rainy. I was gonna... Basically, let's just get a bed. Cannot sleep in this dimension. Always daytime in this dimension. Toggle down ball. There we go. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm in a good mood today. The wife is here. Zadkiel is here. They would be joining you, but I am really tired. I don't blame you, Hades. It's kosher. Copacetic, we're just going to kind of take it easy. I'm thinking about... Starting one of the gardens. Is that a Strider right here?
Yes, sir.
Let me make sure I got you boosted. Say something for me, Strider.
Hello.
Oh, that might be a little too much. Hold on. Let's try a halfway point. Okay. I think we're going to be good. You going to be helping me today, man?
Sure.
Well, you should be in creative now.
I'm here.
There you are. Boop. I think
Come
I
on,
put...
cat. You're my chair.
Okay. Let me swap over to game footage real quick. Everybody can catch up on what I'm looking at. Here we are in the Cathedral. Now, there's good news and good news. Good news is I've got ideas. Also, good news, we finally fixed the bug. People don't have to have ops to use carpenter's blocks now. Hooray!
Yay!
Exactly. KC118. Hello, how are ya? Yeah. So, a lot of this infrastructure can finally be filled in and fixed. Like, what were we gonna do? Quartz. I think it's just a block of quartz. I'm gonna do that. Was it? Yeah, it was. Yes, because it looks awesome on the inside, the way that the texture ends up going. Honestly, it doesn't matter what the outside block is. Yep. That gives it that kind of plaster look. I like that look. It looks really good. Oh man, I'm in a good mood today. It's Wednesday. Could spend some time with some patrons and supporters and friends and just generally be creative. So, let's get back into the swing of things. What we need to do is basically, I think I want to slope all the way across. We're just going to have to figure out the skylights. Jeez, my words aren't working today. We're going to have to figure out the skylights later. For right now, I basically want this sloped both sides all the way up. I'm going to fill it all with quartz blocks because I want to get this basically looking like a real legit ceiling, and we'll kind of be back to the point we were at previously before we had to reboot the server, restart the server. So yeah. I'm gonna turn the music down just a little bit. There we go. Better. Downloaded Curse on my Mac, and I tried Curse Voice and it's not working, but now I think I've fixed it, says Steven Scarborough. The Mac client apparently just got updated. I haven't messed with it. Well, I don't have a Mac. What am I talking about? Hades, we'll do the bump out windows later. Right now, I want to get the roof so we can figure out the shape. Then we can actually figure out how we're going to actually adjust for skylights. It'll just be easier to do the whole roof right now because the skylights aren't going to be that big in the grand scheme of things. I would like to also see if we could start one of the side gardens today, but it kind of depends on time. Doot. I want to do the bump out skylight, but we can figure that out after the fact. It's no big deal. And we're gonna do this. And do this over here. That is totally wrong. Let's do that. And now what we can actually do is start filling in. Now this looks weird on the outside, but it looks great on the inside. Because it really gives that impression. The seams get lost on the inside slope. On the bottom side slope, I should say. So you really get this look of kind of like hand-rolled plaster. It looks really, really just gorgeous. Now we do have issues like this right here. I don't like this. I want to... No. I want to correct that. We actually don't even need to worry about a slope there. And that will help a lot of that issue. But let's get the rest of this done in this section. They look down at this and it looks like, I mean, it is a repeating pattern, but it does look kind of like it was hand plastered, maybe rollered up once they actually got the plaster down. I really like that kind of look. It looks blotchy. It looks kind of random, even though it's actually not random. Greylock's here, and Dark Preacher, 2 more moderators. Damian Ferris, what influenced you the most to do YouTube? It's a good question, Damian. Actually, not one I get quite a bit. What influenced me the most to do YouTube was basically one of those things where I live in Texas, and I used to be. I am now basically a retired IT nerd. I used to do IT support. I had all the Microsoft certifications. I had all the different kinds of jobs doing phone support, yada yada. I worked for major oil and gas companies. And the Texas tech market has seen several hard crashes, basically. So I have had several stretches where I was between jobs. One stretch between jobs, I started making my own role-playing game, pen and paper role-playing game called Manapunk. But at some point, I got into Minecraft and I started doing vanilla Minecraft. Then I branched into modded. I found Direwolf 20. I started talking to mod authors, and I was actually talking to Aidan C. Brady, the maker of Mechanism. And he was looking for a method, taking suggestions for a method to do automated mining. And I told him this grandiose idea that I had for a miner that actually used targeted teleporting, so we wouldn't have a massive quarry hole in the world. This was pre-Ender Quarry, pre-everything, basically. And I pitched the idea of the digital miner to him. And he liked it. He put it in. He made some adaptations for power use and stuff like that that I didn't really account for. But the idea went over very, very well with him, and he put it in the mod. And I was so enthused about that, I thought, well, maybe I should put out a tutorial video for it, just in case people don't know how to use it. So that first video that I put out, Hot Blocks, the digital miner, was not only my first conceptual video for YouTube in the form of Vaygrim, the personality, it was also my brainchild in terms of a block that actually got added into Minecraft. And it was a big thing to me. It was a huge deal. Too bad Carpenters doesn't have all color all option instead of clicking each block, says KC118. I would love that. I've suggested that to the author, but the author for Carpenters blocks, it's not that they don't take suggestions. I just have a hard time communicating with them. I can't seem to catch them. So yeah. I hope that answers your question, Damien Ferris. So yeah, I like that option right there. I think that looks gorgeous. We are going to be doing some skylights. I want to get the ceilings up first, and then basically look at, like, okay, this is something that I want to, whoops, no. I'm going to do this right here. I think this looks better, and it's going to solve some of the weird lighting issues we're going to have right up against those corners. I'm going to do the same thing over here. Let's kill that. That. And this is one of those just minor things. You don't notice it until... What is it with you? Oh, I might have just crashed out. Fatal error occurred, connection terminated. Server didn't like me turning off the rain, apparently.
Yeah, it's still raining.
Okay. Fine. Toggle.
Downfall.
As in, go the heck away. Okay. That is exactly what the doctor ordered. There we go. So, we're going to have statue here, candles, statue, candles. We're going to progressively different outfits from one end to the other. What lesson could people learn by watching your channel, Damien Ferris? That's a hard one, Damien. I don't know. I honestly think that a lot of people discount the concept of free creativity, free building, getting an idea and just making it become reality. I see the appeal of survival, and I see the challenge behind survival, but sometimes getting nothing and turning it into something, getting a blank slate and turning it into a world is one of the most powerful feelings that you can actually have as a human being. That's one of the things I really loved about role-playing games, pen and paper role-playing games, is that basically, as the dungeon master, as the game master, the storyteller, whatever version you like, you can make reality. You are shaping a world with your words, and that's very powerful. So I think creativity goes a long way, and I think that's one of the biggest lessons I would really love to actually put out there. Hey, 102, what's going on? Yeah, Jedko says the thunder took you out, probably. Can't escape the rain today. IRL absolutely chucked it here and caused localized flooding. My garden looks like a rice field at the moment. Casey, do you live in Florida? I heard about nasty storming in Florida earlier this week. I didn't know if that was still going over there, though. Let's see. Let's see if we can get... Get this done. Wrong. There we go. Boop, boop, a boop. There we go. I have with me today, before we get too far along, and if I forget to introduce people, I actually have Aerodani Tribal and Strider with me. They're here in voice chat as well, even though they might be saying much. I'm a bit of a motor mouth at times.
Well, we're busy, so.
Yep. The Wednesday live stream at 2 o'clock is always the VC3 test server. Once Vaygrim's Chance Season 3, which is basically my primary series, comes to an end, and it will, at some point, Season 3 will come to an end. Season 2 went to 150 episodes. Season 3 might not go that long, but I mean, it's going to probably make it to at least 100. Once it comes to an end, the test server will stay up, but it's probably going to transition into a Season 4 test server. We've already got ideas for Season 4. So, yeah. Yeah, that's actually one of my main mottos. Dark Preacher has it right. He says, I think the main lesson of Vaygrim's channel is the same as driving idea by the League of Ordinary Gamers. Play how you like, don't feel bad about it. One of my main mottos has always been that as long as everybody is having fun, there's no wrong way to play the game. If you're a creative person and not a survival person, you shouldn't be shamed for that. If you're a survival person, but you just want to cheat in a block or two every once in a while because you're not hardcore survival, you shouldn't be shamed for that. I don't mind playing games on easy for the sake of the storyline. I like doing that. That is me to a T. And I don't think anybody else should be shamed about that. And that's true. I'm very much about community as well, of course. Community is basically what put me where I am. Ah! I just fell off. Well, that's totally wrong. There we go. No. There we go. Damien Ferris says, if you could teach a new YouTuber one thing, what would it be? Consistency. I think consistency is one of the single biggest things. Don't overstretch yourself. If you're a new YouTuber, you don't have to put out a video a day. Put one a week, 2 a week. That's fine. But do them on the same day, release the same kind of content, and release them, if you can, even at the same time of day every week. Even if you put out one episode a week every Monday at noon, then do that. Stick to that. That's it. That's fine. Your audience will find you. Your audience will start to pick up on that rhythm and on that consistency. Another thing that a lot of younger YouTubers, or not younger, but up-and-coming YouTubers do, is they'll skip around on series a lot. There is such a thing as too many episodes of, or too many series going on at once. That is a thing. Definitely a thing. Can I? Yep, I can. I can do those. Yay. Awesome. Thank you, Aerodani.
Oh. We're done.
I think the whole structure is in. We're going to have to figure out, do some tests on how we want to do the stained glass skylights, but I do want that to be a thing. We indented them, made these slightly recessed, so it gave them some depth. Nope. There it is. So yeah. Yeah, see, Dark Preacher says it also. Be consistent, be consistent. You can't have too many series going on. If you don't stick to it on a series, if you start playing a game, I think you should finish the game. Now, that being said, there is such a thing as low views. There are some games that are not conducive to your audience's personality, but don't just drop it and skip to the next thing. Put out a video and inform them, hey, I'm thinking about stopping the series. And ask your audience. I don't think you should just, bounce around. JVB, hopefully you can stick around. I understand the concept of being tired, though. Steven Scarborough says he just created a mod pack on Curse that has 400 mods. That's a bit much for me. I don't think my computer could even run that. Yeah, Jedko is right. Be honest with your content. If you are putting up a false face or a false personality, I think that your audience will pick up on it quick. I might be myself exaggerated a bit in videos, but, I am still me. It is who I am. I am, to the utmost of my core, a creative person, a world builder, a storyteller. That's absolutely me. Okay. Strider. You see where I am? On the outside roof? At the same place? I'm gonna get, let's see if I can do this right. Okay, let's see. I'm testing here. Whoops, that's the wrong side, actually. I want to do that. Okay, I'm trying to remember how we did this. Why does it seem like we actually have less space here than previous? Okay. I need a carpenter's, like, block. A legit carpenter's block. We're gonna go... No, actually, it's the wrong way. I'm gonna do it this way, and this way, but... Actually, I think they can just be slopes on the outside. No, that doesn't make sense. Hang on a sec. Let's do this. Then, do some slopes in towards me, Strider. Just a set of 3. Perfect. There we go. And then I can actually do like that. I can't remember. I think they were going to be taller. So these would continue sloping. There we go. And then I think what I'm gonna do is we put no, wrong, bad. There we go. Now I think I want to get some colored stained glass. Stained glass. Trianis, what's going on, man? I'm catching up on chat. Hang on a second. Yeah, Dark Preacher's packing for a move, but it's a move well-deserved, I think. Morbits. Hey, man, what's going on? Morbits, hadn't seen you in a while. Personally, can't believe we're on 1.9.4 already. Have you guys seen 1.10 just got released? And there is already... Oh, wait a minute. We have something down here on the bottom. It got filled in, I think.
Oh, that was me.
We want a thing on the bottom and a thing on the top. And I'm trying to look at... I'm just going to do... Let's grab light blue. Whatever. Random color. Now, if we do this on the outside also... all of the blocks disappear. And we get a kind of a... indented skylight. I think that's a different design from how we had it last time, but for now, I'm going to leave it. I think it's okay. So yeah, we were talking about 194. 110 got released. And mod developers are already begging to stay on 194 for a while. So, yeah. Triana says he's been helping Teddy with testing a pack, also looking for players for an FTB Invention server. Any takers? Triana, if you actually want to post it on the forums, you might get some people there. This is undecided. I don't know if I want to do this. One thing I do think we're going to have to do, though, is over here. There is going to be a... There we go. There is going to be a kind of a roof-like structure that's going to be coming off, like here. So we don't have to worry about this being visible. My thing is, on the inside... No, that even looks weird over there. I'm still undecided on how I want to do this. I don't know. I'm going to figure it out. The other ones will look better going on down this direction. But that's, I think, the shape that I want. I want that indentation. We had it slightly different last time, but I think, like that design. And that was actually, words fail me. Mr. Hades' suggestion. So, yeah. Yeah, 110 has new, it's called the Frostburn update. They have new mobs, and it's all in the ice biomes, which is great. It's interesting, but the pace of release is wonderful for vanilla, but it's killing modded. That's the problem. Elytras will not replace jetpacks. Elytras will probably replace the glider from Open Blocks, if Open Blocks even gets ported. Okay, so part of me wants to make it a little taller, but the rest of me thinks that's actually okay, because you're going to be standing right here looking straight up. Like right here, I can see the sun, which is awesome. It's perfect. So yeah. So this design basically needs to be copied in all the alcoves. Yeah, and just reference, basically. We've got all the windows. I'm actually tempted to do... People were talking about going from a darker color to a lighter color. Oh, wait a minute. We weren't going to use blocks there. We're going to use... Where is it? Light blue panes. And this is not a perfected design. We had some people that suggested some good designs. Right now, I just want to get glass in the windows. There we go. I'm less worried about what the color is right now. We can perfect the coloring of the glass later. Two other mods, the Husk, yeah, from the desert. That's true. I forgot about that one. And Stray, a new skeleton type. I didn't know about that one, JVB.
There's Hades.
Welcome, guys.
Hades.
I thought I'd come join you.
Turn this on real quick. Whee! Toss all those extras.
Yes.
That is the one thing I think is goofy about Carpenter's blocks and creative, is that when you creatively break the Carpenter's block, you still get the thing inside of it, which is a little silly. Hey, Hades, can you switch to push to talk?
Oh, I thought I was already on it.
No, you're on voice activated. Okay, technically...
Sorry, guys.
No, it's okay. Technically, we can actually smooth this out a little bit. Right here. Perfect. We actually don't need to see these logs going up into the rafters, at least not right away. I will probably end up changing my mind because I'm a silly person that way, but hey, whatever. Awesome. So while the guys get me sorted with some windows, I gotta start thinking about what I want to do over in one of the side gardens. I think the Stray spawns only in the ice spikes or maybe all cold biomes and come equipped with slowness arrows. Never mind, I remember what you're talking about, JBB. Yeah, combat in 1.94 is bad enough. In 110, it looks like there's even worse things in store. So I'm not relishing that. Yeah, the polar bears can actually swim faster than players can and will attack players. That's going to be horrible. I feel like they may be adding too much to the game. One of the cool things about Minecraft is it's very simple, says Daniel Scarpacci. Daniel, I'm inclined to agree and disagree with you. I see addition is great. The problem is they are making such radical changes to the game. I think that can actually be bad. We're just going to have to see, basically. I don't know. My big worry right now is that the pace of release is too fast for modded to keep up, and for some reason modded players have this problem with actually not updating, not staying to the most absolute radical latest versions, and I'm not sure why. It is a bit of a weird mystery to me, basically. Let's do no. I'm gonna see where this ceiling arch takes me. This is going to be tall, but that's the point. Ugh. Where am I? Okay. Yep, so that's going to be there, and that's where it's going to flatten out to something, I don't know what, and go down the other side. You're probably going to want to build up from this other point right here on the other side in the other garden. Hades. If you're going to actually match,
right.
If you're going to match this on the other side, because I know that cross beam doesn't go all the way across, or at least it doesn't go to where it should be. You're probably going to have to build up and meet it.
Yeah, I might try something different to carpenters blocks instead of placing each one individually down.
If you've got any bright ideas to speed that up, but a lot of builders' wands don't work with carpenter stuff, unfortunately.
I'll give it a go.
Fred Bradley says, please do more mod guides. I actually will. I've got some plans on doing a whole bunch of mod guides once 194 settles and we start getting some more mods. I've been waiting to do mod guides on, like, I want to do a noob's guide to Psy by Vazki, because that mod is daunting. So I want to do a noob's guide on here's how you actually pass the various tests and whatnot, and here's how you get some working spells. It's not going to teach you how to understand Psy. It's going to teach you how to make it functional. Does that make sense?
Yeah, Psy is difficult.
Yeah, JVB says there's no official Minecraft mod API, despite it being talked about for years. I think Forge now is the unofficial Minecraft API. They just don't want to admit it. And yes, there actually has been talk about them releasing a mod API way back years ago, and then suddenly about a year or two ago, they stopped talking about it and they said that there isn't going to be one, or there might be one. You know, they don't know. What are you doing, Hades?
Trying something.
Wait. Oh, crap. Done goofed. Go down. Go down. There we go.
Ooh, it's looking good over here. Hades is trying some kind of voodoo magic. I don't know what he's doing. Yeah, the plugin API. Right now what they're talking about is they have a resource pack system where you can actually modify existing blocks or add your own blocks within this kind of limited plugin API with the resource packs. But that is probably going to be centered entirely around the Windows 10 Pocket Edition branch. That's probably not going to be a Java branch thing. So, yeah. A proper spell building mod, in my opinion, Blood Magic's too complex for spell building. Spell building got completely overhauled and is still being overhauled in Blood Magic for 194, Daniel Scarpacci. And yes, I agree, it was way too complex. I think Way of Time knew that. So yeah. Yeah, a mod that is daunting for a noob, open computers. I can't program. and it's extremely scary. Open computers is like, woo. It's the beauty of these different mods, though. Everything from dead simple to ultra complex concepts. That's what keeps the game alive for me, says KC118. And I think that's a good thing. So, yeah. Mojang was like, nah, Forge is too good. Basically, there have been some points recently where people at Mojang actually did GitHub, what's it called? A copy. They did a branch of a lot of major mods. I think they were looking for specific features in mob spawning, biome control, and all sorts of other different mods that they basically did pull request. I mean, they made branches of as if they were going to be pulling aspects of those code into themselves, into their own thing, or, you know, whatever. What are you trying to do, Hades?
Trying to make it easy to only have to go forward and backwards and forwards and backwards.
Yes, it is dizzying.
I guess I'm used to it. You have to do that with stairs when you were building in vanilla, so a certain part of my brain has just been, you know, rewired for that. Yeah, computer craft minus paste bin equals balanced. Personally, the only thing that I know to do one of the reasons why I liked actual computer craft was the paste bin functionality, being able to watch Direwolf 20 videos and he does something cool, so you can actually get the paste bin and then set it up yourself the same way. I thought that was awesome. So, you know, that's me though. That's me. Okay. So this area right here, this is going to be a door. I'm going to leave that dirt there. But this is solid wall. There are no stained glass windows over here. This is going to be a darker section of the interior. Then right here, I want to do it right there. Yeah, I kind of have to. Which is why I think ting, 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 ting. I want to pull this back a little bit. I want this to be a distinct. I can spice it up a little bit later. I'm not worried about that right now. Bracketing. There we go. Ding, 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 ding. Yeah, I do have a lot of mod spotlights planned for more mod guides. There's some hot block ideas I already have in mind for 194 once that scene settles quite a bit. I think it's going to be really good. It's just one of those things where it's not quite as simple as people think it is. Yep, that's perfect. There we go. I'm going to do this. Wait a minute. This side is off slightly. Yep. And I think I'm gonna do that. Which means that if I do... Nope, it still needs to be brought in over here. This is... a little wide. That looks better. There we go. That looks a lot better. Okay. Hey, Eridani.
Yep.
You see those dirt blocks over there that's supposed to be acting as a set of doors in that wall?
Yeah.
I have my compass turned off. The one closest to this end, I need to know, like, basically, I need to get that same thing set up over here. Same measurement and everything. That same position? I think those are just.
So.
I think those are just too high.
Yep, right position.
Okay, awesome. Thank you. Okay, this is gonna be a solid wall. There's also going to be a solid back wall. There's a door here, 2x2. This is gonna be a solid wall all the way across. As you realized, I need to do this as well. Yes, hi, Mr. Doggy. What's going on? Let me catch up on chat real quick. Morbid says he's a programmer scripter in his spare time. Dyer should have a joint training lesson. He teaches you to program stuff. You teach him to build something other than a 9x9. I'm with Daniel Scarpacci on that idea. Dynex, what's going on? How are you? That Dyer compound thing went over way better than I thought it would. That was just a complete fluke. I had an idea. I thought, to heck with it. I put a video out about it. That was it. So, I'm very pleased that everybody liked that so much. I didn't really know how well that was going to go across. So it is very, very relieving that people actually liked it. And he liked it too. He thought it was great. So I'm probably, when Forgecraft 2, after they figure out whatever bug ate the 190 world, they're going to start up Forgecraft 2 again. Reset, unfortunately. It's going to be 194 with a whole bunch of new mods. Once that gets done, then I think I'm probably going to end up building near him. I'm going to stay near spawn this time. Instead of going out 1,000, 2,000 blocks, I'm going to stay near spawn so that I can trade with him a little bit more and he can help me with mods a little bit more. Gabro's here. What's going on, Gabro? Another sponsor. Is there any way to chunk load with Ender IO? Steven Scarborough, I do not believe that there is right now. Right now, my biggest thing that we are using chunk loading for is, let me step out of creative mode real quick, is actually FTB utilities, which is great. I can click this and it says, you know, hey, I can claim these chunks if I want to just by left clicking. Right click to unclaim them, but if I claim a chunk, then I can control left click and it says chunk loaded. That's it. I do not require anything that I need to put down. I do not require, oh, I'm out of creative mode. Anything that I need to, you know, any special fuel or anything like that. It's easy to regulate. You can limit the maximum number of chunks that a player can claim and or load. It's nice. It's easy. It's simple. And it works really, really well. Okay. This back wall is going to come up a lot higher, but it's going to be... Actually, it's not even going to be there. The roof here, this is where a taller building starts, basically.
Okay.
I'm thinking each floor is going to be 5 bricks, which means it's going to be 5 blocks in between. This is the floor 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Floor 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 5. And then we're going to have some...
bring that...
Do what?
Bring the holy stone up 1. This one right here. This isn't full level.
Oh, it's not? Oh, okay. Then, boop, and... Ah.
There we go.
There we go. Okay, awesome. Perfect. Nailed it! So basically, this is going to be a big block of a building that's going to go out at least to here, all the way across the back end. And it is going to be a taller, on this side here, I'm just going to have it squared off right here where it actually meets the main building. At the back, I actually want to do something like, hang on a sec. Let me think. I'm going to do this, and then this, and then this, and then all the way across. So it's a bit more, you know, rounded. Does that make sense?
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, 2 dot to continue the wall. So it's going to be, you know, this is going to be all the way across to the other side. I want the back corner to be a little bit more rounded, but basically this is going to be the library. It's going to be multiple floors. This up here is actually going to be an attic space. It's not going to be open in the middle, but like this floor here is going to be open in the middle. This is going to be open in the middle, of course, the ground floor. And I'm thinking of even insetting the floor a little bit down here and putting some, what are they called? Maybe some exhibit cabinets for some, you know, magical artifact kind of things. I think that could be really cool. We could slope the floor down towards the middle, and that'd be awesome. I want to do some big mosaic thing right here that you're looking at when you come down this main walkway. On a kind of a raised dais, just a little bit right here. I want to do a big mosaic that's supposed to be a solid, colorful wall. I have no clue what I'm going to do, so we're just going to save that for later. I just want... This wall will be used for that. I tell you what, Morbits, Mrs. V actually has a black belt in culinary arts. It's pretty evil, especially in cookies and baking. I know you could do that. I was wondering because my 194 mod pack does have FTB, does not have it. Yeah, FTB Utilities hasn't been updated. So right now, there's not a lot of ways to chunk load. Railcraft hasn't been updated. Mine Factory Reloaded hasn't been updated. And a whole bunch of the Chicken Bones mods haven't been updated. But there is somebody, I forget their name, but there is somebody going through and updating the Chicken Bones mods to 194. So we'll just get some kind of artificial chunk loading eventually. Vaygrim, YouTube Gaming appears to say you're playing Overwatch rather than Minecraft. It is lying. I have updated it. I will update it again. Hang on a sec. Let me see if I can actually swap this over. Your changes are being saved. I'm actually just going to refresh the page real quick. Shouldn't interrupt the stream. Yeah. It says Minecraft again. I don't know why it swapped. Sorry about that. Don't know. But thank you for pointing it out. I appreciate it, Dynix. Couldn't find many jobs, so became self-employed gardener, says Gabbro. Yeah, see, same kind of thing for me. The IT market crashed bad. And thankfully, I have a wonderful and supporting wife that was willing to go out on a limb and say, you know, hey, maybe we could actually make this YouTube thing self-sufficient. And I would not... That is not what I want to do there, but I do want to bring that up there. I could see with... you know, other relationships and other people, maybe it's not quite that easy, because it is kind of a weird thing if you think about it. It's going to be brick all the way up. We are going to have some windows on the outside, ordinary library kind of windows, but I do not know how I want to do them yet.
Roof is almost done.
Really? Oh my god, it is.
You went to the town. Jesus.
So yeah, he basically pulled carpenter's blocks all the way across and then just swaps them out. That's actually not a bad way. That way you don't have to go juggling back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. I think I'm just faster at the back and forth and back and forth. That's awesome. Okay.
No, undo.
Casey says, actually, I was going to ask Vaygrim/Bexitos for a screenshot/tutorial bit of the program for open computers running the big reactor. Would it be possible at some stage? I have an episode where I go through, episode of season 2, where I go through how to download that program and get it started. But I can always look into it again if you want me to, Casey. George, what's going on, George? How you been? Yeah, refresh myself and it's fixed. Okay, awesome. Thank you very much for letting me know, Dynix. I do actually count that as important because I want people to be able to find the stream. And having the right game categorized helps. Julian Archer says this build is looking great so far, Vaygrim. Thank you very much, Julian. I appreciate that. Dude, Dark Preacher, consistency, hard work ethic. Keep at it. You'll keep gaining subscribers. Promise. Promise, promise. Okay, let's go to the front real quick. I have all of these people making my life a heck of a lot easier and making this build go a lot quicker. So, at this point, basically, if I pull this across here, this is actually going to go up, basically. And it'll slope, but 1, 2, 3, 4. Actually, that's not wide enough. There we go. 4. 1, 2. Yep, there we go. 3, 4. I want there to be. And this is the awesome part about, was one of the things I actually love about Carpenter's blocks is that I can actually flesh out and fill in later. They're wonderful for that task. This is, oh gosh, probably only going to come up to about here. And then I'm going to bring it in some. And then I probably have to gonna do micro blocks for Respire. 3 and 3, yeah. Yeah. I'll leave it. I'm not gonna mess with it. I'm gonna leave it.
Okay, all done.
Hades, you're a machine.
No worries.
I still don't know what we're gonna do with the outside in terms of what block we're going to use. I am tempted to use the Greatwood logs again, but I would like to have something that has a different pattern than the support beams. I just don't know what. It's going to have to be something other than the quartz blocks, though, because that's going to make it a lot... it's going to make it confusing. I want a darker outside roof, and I want the lighter inside roof. And you guys can tell what I'm talking about. There's going to be a wall. Like, all of this is going to be all the way up to here. Is going to be wall. And then what I want is a walkway with catwalks up here. So basically there will be a catwalk running just above these windows right here on this line of blocks. Inset into the roof. You'll be able to walk up here. We're going to hide a ladder somewhere in the building that you can actually get up to this attic space. And you'll be above these windows, technically speaking, but there's going to be a solid wall. All of this is going to be solid wall all the way up. I want it to be very just kind of big and, you know, that monolithic feeling where you feel like a small thing in a giant place.
Oh, we're done back here.
Really?
Floor's done.
Hang on a sec. Okay, so then that would continue. Get this. etc., etc., ad infinitum. Yep, that's the shape. Oh, you swapped the blocks out. Epic, thank you. Yeah, that's the rounded off shape that I actually wanted at the back. It makes it look less like a square box at the back. What I'm going to do is on top of this roof right here, this is going to have a kind of a flat roof back here on the higher section. It's going to have a bit of a flat roof that's going to have a lot of walking space on it, but I want a spire right here, which is why I want it to kind of look like it continues down into the back corners of that building. I want the spire to kind of seamlessly go down into these back corners here, which is why I wanted this rounded off edging. I think it's going to make it look good. It's just kind of hard to explain at points. I don't know how big I want this, but I know that I wanted at least this tall. Hey, Strider, you have a builder's wand? That wall that you're standing on right now, can you pull it up to this height? Exactly. Go nuts. Thank you very much. Having helpers really makes things easy.
Minions.
Anubis4451 says, awesome, made it to a Minecraft live stream on a roll 2 days in a row. How you doing, Anubis? What's happening? Oh, see you later, JVB. Also, I support Hayroof. Hayroof, really? Oh, Netherbrooks might be a really good suggestion, Julian Archer. That's actually not a bad idea. That darker brick roofing might be something we could actually look into.
You may need to sort out the roof bit again.
What do you mean?
Have a look.
Oh.
Yeah.
Simplest builder's one for you.
Nope, that's not supposed to go all the way across. Hang on a sec. That's supposed to be... Everything else is superfluous. This part stays. All the rest of it's supposed to be flat until the very back. I will make another spire way back there. We'll figure it out. It's okay. This is still approaching Nirvana. All of this music is approaching Nirvana. You go to approachingnirvana.com. You can buy it. They do sales quite regularly on a website called Groupies, GROUPEES.com. I got their entire catalog for $15. Really great people.
Oh, Vaygrim. Oh.
What's up?
Oh, I'm so sorry about Twitter, man.
About who? What?
I'm so sorry about Twitter when I put everything on the playlist from Approaching Nirvana.
Oh, no, a lot of people forget about that. It's just the point of most people only forget about it once. Everybody remembers them. Everybody reminds them after it happens. Hey, dude. So, yeah, that's a feature that I did the exact same thing like several years ago. Everybody's done it at least once as a YouTuber. That is definitely a thing. Yeah. Alex Sicoli is here. Erdem Loading is here. Hello, I'm back. School was tough this week and last week. Sorry to hear that, Erdem. Yeah, people are talking about EE3 as opposed to Project E. Project E is basically EE2. If somebody wants a point of reference, Project E is the kind of quote-unquote overpowered version of what EE3 came from, which was EE2. That's one of the reasons why we went with it, is because it's just a little bit more, it's got a little bit more oomph. There's more features to it. And it is more of what we're looking for right now in terms of, you know, it fits my pack better. Okay. Yeah, see, this is going to look really, really good. I just have to figure out how I want to tie in all of this front facade stuff. And I need to do a little bit more work with microblocks. You know, you can color certain blocks with... what is it? Extra utilities? You can use their paintbrush. If you, whoops. Builder's wand with undo. Oh, Strider's gonna suffocate himself. He'll figure it out. It's fine. You can recolor blocks. What I'm thinking about doing is seeing real quick. Let's do extra utils. Come on, NEI. It's one problem we need to actually address. NEI is getting a little slower in 1.7.10. There we go. Till extra utilities. Okay. Somewhere out there. Okay, they're slightly lighter. Like if I get this, does it look? Looks exactly the same. They're slightly darker. You see? So I could use this in certain circumstances. Maybe we could break this up into, see if we can break it up into micro blocks and use it for paneling and half slabs and stuff. So like over here, we have this accent work over here that we did last stream. I could actually do this stuff using this dark gray frequency block, and I think that could be really cool. That would give even more tone, even more depth to thing. Yes, it's going to be a lot of gray. I'm colorblind. Give me a break. Scott Killing. Hey, what's going on, man? Don't forget the steeple. We're not going to have one. We're not going to have two. We're going to have 4 steeples on this bad boy, Scott. 4 of them.
All the staples.
Yeah, all the steeples for all the peoples. This is from the Cinematic Soundscapes Volume 2 Continuous Mix, Dynix, to be apt. This is called Night Rain, and it's an hour long. Chisel has a Japanese roof style block. Oh, I'll have to look at that. Harold is here. What's going on, Harold? It has been a while. How about to indent part of the front wall with carpenter's blocks to have something that looks like pillars? Julian, I didn't know we were going to do indention or outdention. Outdention's not a word. I'm claiming it is now. Cope. If it's not a word, I'm going to make it a word. Outdention. No, basically we were talking about over here. You see how we've got this extended, so it gives shadow and depth to things. These are slabs and just normal bricks. Let me see if I can multi-part this real quick. There you are.
Oh,
I'm gonna get this. I'm gonna get this. I'm gonna turn it into these, and I'm actually gonna get one more of those. Put that back. So like, for example, if I get this, this is gonna be, right, a little darker, a little bit more weathered, a little bit more rain-soaked. There are different kinds of stone that weather in different ways, you know? And maybe this just kind of weathers this way. We do... Oh, that's actually... That's a full block, full block, full block, full block. And then we could get that there. Same. It does look a little cartoony, but I do like the different shade. If I could get a difference in between the normal block color and that, I would, but it's kind of hard. No, I understand the school concept, Harold. School first. Sven, what's going on? Hey, Sven, how are you? Just throwing out ideas that might make the build better. Yeah. This looks bigger than 9x9, says Scott Kellen. You are correct. Apt observation, sir, as always. Let's see. I could do, if I really wanted to make it interesting, that. That would tie in the inside and the outside just a little bit, but I don't know what that's going to do for the inside build. Across the front, it's not going to be a flat square. What I'm actually going to do over here is probably going to be... Sure, hell, why not? Let's do it with carpenter's blocks. Da-da-da. Nah. And I want to do it over here. Same thing. And this is basically going to be a big... Actually, I don't want to do it that high. I want this to be a flower bed. I want it to be a raised flower bed. And we do boop, boop. 1, 2, 3, all the way across. This is going to be there, right there, right there. I want these to be raised flower beds, and I actually want them to have different stuff in them and different mixtures so it doesn't just look mirrored. I'm thinking ivy crawling down up here. I think it'd be really cool to have periodically. Let's see, that is 1, 2, 3. That's on the 4th. So if we come over here and we do 1, 2, 3 on 4, we could actually do those, what are they called? Not parapets, but the stick out things that have gargoyles hanging off of them. Because somewhere in here we actually do have a gargoyle statue. I'm going to do the same thing over here. I want it to actually, I do want it to have some, you know, depth and dimension. Nope, that's wrong. Is that...
Okay, Vaygrim. All done for you, mate.
You guys are crazy. Hang on a sec. Let me get this thing put on here. 1, 2, 3. On the 4th. That is a roof, ladies and gentlemen. Now we just need to figure out what we want to put on it. It is going to...
Just leave it scaffolding.
We are going to have it come out. These front walls are actually supposed to be sloped up with the roof, and the roof I want to overhang. So when you're standing over here, you should still be standing in shadow, right?
Oh.
So basically the roof is going to have to come out at least 1 block to here, if not 1 block past here. And then we'll just pull this wall up to meet the roof. Right?
Alright.
Okay, awesome. Otherwise, it is scary how fast you guys are doing this now. Yeah, this is going to come all the way back to meet this wall. And I know we're going to need... Yeah, perfect, perfect. Ah! Fell off. So this is going to meet all the way like that. And this is going to be the start of a bigger section stretching up over the roof. Yeah, see, this is basically right here. Right here, basically, above this last alcove, where the crossway and the last alcove is, I want a bigger steeple than that one. So it's going to be a bigger thing that's going to stretch up probably this tall. I don't have the design idea yet, but it's going to be there. So you'll see a small one in the front, a big one in the back, and then 2 gigantic spires even farther back. It's kind of what I want the idea for. Yeah, I need something darker for the roof. Than I want for the interior, and I want something different than the actual Greatwood logs. So take a look at Chisel's concrete blocks. They come in different shades, says Scott Killen. I forgot about that. That's a good point. Thank you very much, Scott. I have a very limited budget, so Spotify free is my go-to for music, yeah. Garden stuff's in the pack. That should help for flower beds. Yes, we're going to use garden stuff with the flower beds in the front. And Dynex over here. This is kind of a step down into a garden area. I want vines going up parts of this wall. I want little kind of constructed bonsai trees. You can also do miniature trees in the flower pots in garden stuff somehow. I don't know how, but at some point there's some way to do that. So I want to have some of those over here. I want to actually have some, planted garden space, like for legitimate crops and stuff like this. I figure a church like this, if it's actually going to be not Dark Ages, but basically some point between, Dark Ages and medieval, if it's going to be that old, this is going to be not only a religious space, but it's going to be a community space. So there's going to be places to sit here. There's going to be some crops that are going to be hidden and kind of growing amongst some of the flowers. We're going to use some of the flower boxes from garden stuff. Yeah. Yep. We've got ideas. We've got a pig trapped under the floor. So definitely. Yeah, they are scary, fast little helpers. I like them, says Dynex. Gabbro says, gotta give them more work. Julian Archer says, I built a castle wall that is still saved on my computer. I hand-built it, and it was an impressive size. That's very cool. Spruce wood planks. Daniel, are you talking about for the roof outside? I'm curious. Let's do a little bit of experimentation here real quick. I'm going to go all the way up to the top here. Let's move some stuff off the bar. I'm going to need that. Let's do... I don't know if I want spruce wood planks. There's some chisel alternatives for that. Uneven spruce wood planks. I don't know what direction those are going to be going. Those would go the right direction, actually. So there's that. Somebody suggested nether brick. And nether brick would look pretty dark. I am wondering if it's going to be... Really? Okay. Fine, I'll show you. Nether brick will not actually go in a carpenter's block. That's kind of weird. I do wonder if the nether brick is going to be a little too much. Red nether brick. So there's an alternative that would be the same basic pattern as the roof. I do think we need to break it up a little bit, though. There is dark oak. Let me think. Where is it? Vertical uneven. Let's do something like this. What happened to the nether brick? Did it vanish? Or did I break it? I'm not paying attention. Anyway. Dark colored clay blocks. I could actually see using that. Trunks are more narrow than the standard trees. They look very nice, says Casey. Yeah. If you grow the trees in little flower pots, then basically I think you end up with a miniature. It's almost like a bonsai. Narrower tree, trunk. See, this stuff is... Okay, this is weird. Nether brick. Oh, sanguimancy. Nether brick. That's why it doesn't cooperate. This brick is a lie. Block is a lie.
Quite literally.
Yeah, it is. It actually disappears after a while. It's a sanguimancy block. No wonder. Didn't even look at the tooltips. There we go. Those work. These blocks are not lies. Let's get some clay. I'm a little curious as to what darker color we would use, though, because some of the stained clay actually comes off looking a little cartoonish to me. There's woolen clay. We actually do have a dark brown woolen clay. Julian Archer says, I will figure out the smaller tree for you, Vay. I have an experimental skyblock pack thrown together in the background with garden stuff in it. Thank you very much, Julian Archer. Let me know. Does anyone know if Natura is 1.8 or 1.9 already? It was, actually, as far as I know, it was not 1.8. We didn't have 1.8 Natura on Forgecraft. We had Tinker's Construct. It got picked up by Bonus Boney, but I don't think Natura has been picked up. As far as I know, it's not 1.8 or 1.9 yet. It might update straight to 1.9. Stephen Scarborough asks, what song is this? This is, again, Night Rain by Approaching Nirvana. It is the hour-long cinematic continuous mix. Would be really nice to elevate yourself up a redwood tree using a vanilla lift. Okay. Hey, Hades, come here real quick. I need to borrow you up on the roof, on top.
Okay, I'm coming.
Actually, all the guys come up here.
I
Stare at the thing I'm staring at. and just absorb it. Take it in.
Hypnotic.
I know, right? I figure we're going to have to go with something darker, and we have to go with something that's not gray. That's where it falls outside of my area of expertise. Now, I do like some of the wood plank design textures. Like, this is that block right there. There's that block, that block, that block, and that block. So that's what you're looking at, basically. The thing is, we're going to have a lot of this. So it has to be a good texture. It has to be something that you don't mind staring at that's not going to hurt your eyes. I like this thing, however, what is this? Nether brick, red nether brick from Chisel.
I've just labelled them.
The texture just looks a little too cartoony for me. You know?
Yeah.
There is something about it that's just off. Because, I mean, when you think about it in comparison, let me get one of these real quick. Go over here. Okay, we're going to have... That's what you're going to be looking at in comparison, right? That's how they're going to connect. Not, I mean, it's going to be a little around, but you have to look at it in comparison to up against that. Any other suggestions? If there is a particular kind of let me think, dark oak. No, that's not even right.
Guys, I'll put signs on the back from 1 to 5, so you can all.
Sorry about that.
No, it's okay. Actually, I don't like that. So yeah, we have that, yeah. Thank you, Hades. So
No problem.
I would like to get some pitch in from the actual audience as to what they think. Basically, from right to left, from 1 to 5, who thinks which is what? A mix is good if possible. Could you mix several wood planks? Number 4 and number 2 are closer, I think, in tone. The big problem is the actual outline between the planks is much bolder on number 2. It pops a lot more. So it would be hard to mix those. Now, if we look in Chisel, what is it? Vertical. Vertical? Can I just search for vertical? I can search for vertical. Oh, gosh. Let's toss that. Let's toss that. We've got... We do vertical, uneven. We've got, say, that's a vertical uneven. That's a vertical uneven. A lot of these woods come across as being real different from each other. You see? Actually, that's supposed to be. There you go. So those are the vertical unevens, which means that we would have a hard time mixing those. They look very, very different. Let me zoom into the numbers here real quick so you know what you're looking at. Right? We've got vote for 1 and 3, says Frito Plays. That's a very, very interesting thing. I think 1 would be good, but it's going to be a boring roof. There's not going to be any texture to it. What about something from Ancient Trees? I like far left and middle. So 5 and 3, basically. I like number 4. 1 looks like mud, exactly. 2 and 4. I prefer 2. Dark oak. Extra utilities. Paintbrush. Oh, 3 is nice. You can use vanilla bricks and then color them to your choice. I could do that. We could actually use vanilla bricks and actually use like Actually, that's going to be a little extra util. That is still going to be a little limited. I mean, if we get...
It is, guys.
See you, Hades.
Oh, Hades has to go. Yeah, thanks for helping out, Hades. I appreciate it, man. But, I mean, like, you see the dilemma. It's kind of hard. You're going to be staring at a lot of this stuff, so it can't be too busy. I like number 3, but it's just way too cartoony for me. Start dark at the top and lighter to look washed out farther down, says Jedco. Not a bad idea. I think 2 could work. A lot of people seem to like 2. Uneven spruce, then 2. 9 by 9 is rule. I mean dark oak. Uneven dark oak, and then number 2. What's one uneven dark oak look like? That is...
This one.
Yep, that's uneven dark oak. And then this is basically... vertical dark oak. That's the difference, basically. Is you're looking at a difference in patterns here, so we can't use those. Because they're not going to match up very well. Yeah, see, if I was going to use, honestly, I think that the black on this is a little too... It's almost like this thing right here on number 3. It looks a little too cartoony. There's too big of a difference. I think number 2 kind of has that also. I think the dark oak, whether it's uneven or even, I think it looks a little too... You know, I don't know. I keep going back to either 4 or just making it really dark like this with number 5. That's me, though. But a lot of people like 2. What do you guys think? What is that, Eridani?
Plain old dark oak wood planks.
We could do that. So this is vanilla. This is straight up dark oak. There is still a differentiation between the lines, but it's not quite as crazy. Maybe we want to go vanilla dark oak. Maybe that's a thing.
It looks actually the best out of all of them for me.
I favor 4 more. I favor 4. What about 4 and 6? Technically, we have 7 and 8 here also. I don't like 2.
To label these.
I don't like 2. It's too much of a contrast between the black and the color. Plain old dark oak. Totally like vanilla dark oak. Yeah, see, Shadow Rhythm X says the texture is too bold. If it was lighter, it would be nice. Talking about the differences between the lines here. Okay, so what does everybody think if we actually did plain old dark oak, this one right here that Eridani's standing on? If we were going to do plain old dark oak. Yeah, right there. Who thinks that's a thing? Change my mind. Love vanilla dark oak. Plain old dark oak is looking pretty good. Yeah, vanilla dark. Okay, let's make the roof dark oak. That's what we're going to do.
All right.
Vanilla dark oak. Let's kill all the rest of this stuff.
Maybe a carpenter's hammer. Carpenter.
Yep, so that's what we're going to use for the whole thing. Let's actually only do a section of it first to see. There we go. Strider's on it. Yeah, do 2 stripes like that for me, Strider. And then stop. We'll see what it looks like. Yeah, see, I think that's going to work. The pattern's not too busy. It's got the little speckles and stuff like that. It would be nice if we could make it look... Oh, wait a minute. Hang on a sec. I wonder if we can do it with the slopes. Die. Can we do... Oh, we can. Okay. So basically, if I do this, let's get all of this crap and get rid of it. All these other alternative blocks. Okay. Jedco made the suggestion, right? To make it look weathered towards the top. So if we go up here for the flat of it. That is not right. I don't want that. I want this. What you can do is you can get light gray dye, and you can shift right-click to make it look a little darker on the flat parts of the roof, right?
Ooh.
So we'll have a little bit of retoning. Because we actually use carpenter's blocks, we can do that.
Light gray.
Yes. I think that's going to work. Yeah, it's just light gray dye. That's all that is, and you just shift right-click. Yep, that's one.
Color all tool.
Yep, it's one of those things that people forget you can actually do with a lot of the stuff in carpenter's blocks. And it just made our life a little bit simpler. If we wanted to, we could even fade it down onto the sides just a little bit in a kind of an erratic pattern, you know? Like some parts the water has run off a little bit more than others.
Yeah.
Also, let's see. On the flat section, you can double right-click and put a little extra panel on it that gives it a little bit more of a kind of a bump out, like texture, like it's been patched or something, you know?
Yeah.
I'm not sure if that's going to affect the dyed part or not. Oh, you can re-dye those too. Hooray! Yes, thank you very much. The coffee fairy is here. Same thing earlier. Yep. Oh, straight decap then. Sorry, I forgot. Does more wands work with carpenter's blocks? Very few wands actually do in terms of builder's wands. Carpenter's blocks are kind of wonky that way. Make it a randomly weathered. That way it looks more real, says Daniel Scarpacci. Exactly. So I could do like, we could do like some of these, and then I could just do down here, and then we could do like, you know, here. We could even do it a little farther down that way, so it looks a little bit more kind of a hastily run off, you know, at certain parts. Yeah, I think that's going to look good. I think if you right-click it, shift right-click it with white, it resets the color. Think. Yes, Julian Archer, I'm sorry. I did see how to make the tiny trees. Thank you very, very much. I saw your instructions whiz by. Sven, actually, I'm going to be using, after Forgecraft 2 resets, I'm going to be using the Dire Compound 9x9 thing. That's going to be my base, because so many people have asked for me to do it. I figure, why not? Coffee time, says Casey. Exactly. The coffee fairy is here. Some point we'll probably... Actually, this is a peaceful dimension. I don't have to worry about lighting any of this stuff up. It's awesome. I want the flat, evenly weathered. The slope, it's going to be uneven, and we're just going to have to kind of, you know, dot it and wing it and figure it out. We can reset it as needed. It's no big deal. We do not have to have precision tuning on this. We're just guessing. We're flying by the seat of our pants today, ladies and gentlemen. And this is going to look great once we get it done. This is also one of the big advantages for doing so much of this build as carpenter's blocks, is that we have a bit more creative freedom on stuff like that. Yeah, see, this is going to look good. I could even see having a little bit of a... Just random patterns here and there. We'll figure it out. Just going to get the whole thing covered first. Burrito Play says that 9x9 compound is a lot of fun. Are you using it? Preach says Vaygrim, a certain minion of Purple Mentats, is requesting to go swimming tonight in 7 Days to Die. Are you talking about Saffron? Does he want to join us? We're gonna have Ferg also. It's gonna be mayhem, man. That's up to Shadowstar. Anybody's welcome, but it's Shadowstar's connection. So we can kill this right there. Thank you very much. Carpe coffee, everyone. Carpe caffeine. Excuse me while I go watch a tutorial on a mod I found. Yeah, okay. Frito Plays, do me a favor. Take some pictures of your Dire 9x9, your Dire compound, and tweet it to me at Vaygrim. I really want to see some pictures of other people using it. I'd love to post it up on the website. I will give credit where credit's due, and I'll link you back to your channel or anything. But yeah, shoot me some screenshots of it. I want to see it used. Yeah, Dark Preacher, it's Shadowstar's server. He's going to be able to know better what his connection can hold and what the server can handle, because Ferg already wants to tag along as well. So, yeah, but if we can handle it, the more the merrier. Yep, Carpe Caffeine. I love this mug. Found it at Cost Plus World Market. Okay. I want the roof covered for now. We'll do the dye work later. We know we can do the dye work. Oh, there we go. Erdani, you nailed it. That is what I want. See, he's got this roof line coming all the way down over here that overhangs just a little bit. I do need to move this. Yeah. Down one. And down one. That's fine. It's gonna be awesome. I gotta pick.
So that overhang here as well. Like, no. Like there.
Yes, we are gonna be doing an overhang on the outside. Yeah. Exactly. I don't want that clean stop at the wall edge thing. We need to have an overhang on the outside, but that's fine. So, but this means now what I can do is I'm gonna have to break you. You, whoop, nope, that's totally wrong. Not just mostly wrong, totally wrong. Wedge slope, there we go. And we bring this up, we're gonna bring this up to here. This is gonna be nice big. Wall. Whoa, that's wrong. And we're going to have this here. What I want to do on this inside area, would love to see some columns that we can set against this inside corner so it looks like a vertical support column coming straight up to here. I'm not sure how we're going to do it yet, though. It's one of those things we're going to have to wing. Ah. That's what I'm talking about. This, and that. Actually, I'm just going to do that there. Yep. It's coming together. Excuse me. Had something in my throat. Leafy is here. Got something deleted by Preacher. The mods are on it today. Can't even snap. It's a family-friendly stream. Thank you very much, Leafy. I do appreciate it. Nice house living stream. This is the Cathedral. It's not even close to finished. We're still working on it, but we're figuring it out. We're getting there. 9x9 is 7x7 on the inside. Yep, yeah, the outside walls are 9x9. It's actually 7x7 on the inside. A lot of people don't realize that. Your crew is doing great. You doubled the size in one show. Exactly. Yeah, thank you very much to Hades, but also, in particular, Erdani Tribal and Strider, two of my patrons, two of my really, really wonderful followers. They're helping me out on things. Yeah, if you do 9x9 on the inside, you can still light it up just fine with torches. That makes it an 11x11 on the outside, but I actually stick with the whole Direwolf 9x9 on the outside thing. Jiba snuck in at some point when I wasn't noticing. What's going on, Jiba? Yeah, Leapy, we just try to keep a PG stream. Nope, nothing personal. Just so you know. I understand that a lot of kids are attracted to Minecraft. I get this. I respect that. There's a lot of parents that use Minecraft that to connect with their kids. There's a lot of schools that use Minecraft to educate kids. I know parents that have autistic or otherwise special needs kids, and they use Minecraft as their method to connect and communicate with their children. So I expect by default that there are going to be kids watching my stream when I'm doing Minecraft stuff. It's just the way it is, and I have to respect that. So we try to keep it PG in the stream. You know, nothing personal. It's the way it is. Let's see. Casey asks, Vaygrim, would you consider editing the Cathedral into your VC3 series world? Folks could then have it when doing world downloads. Actually, I think I can get this dimension and post it as an independent thing. I think I can transplant this dimension into a dimension on there, on the VC3 Let's Play server. I think that's possible, KC118. And if you're asking, yeah, I can actually see if I can do it. I'll talk to the guys about it. Jiva says, hey, Vaygrim, doing well. Trying to finish out some schoolwork before finals. Deepest respect there. I cannot even imagine going back to school at this point in my life. In terms of like high school, I could see myself doing college stuff again, but high school, ooh, God no.
Yeah, no.
Exactly. Can't tell if the spire is off center or if Vaygrim is. Well, let's look. Actually, hang on a sec. I'll check.
Spire looks on center.
So it should be, yeah, right here. This is the centered cross beams. That's 2x2. Yeah, it's centered. I just wasn't.
So much crap, man.
Yep. Yeah, see, Dynic says the hole is throwing off the view. The spire is centered. Yeah. Sven says he doesn't even know what base to build. Can't even decide on a spot unless I tear down parts of my old base first. Really. Yeah, Jiva says college is where I'm at. Been done with high school for many, many years. It was Vaygrim that was crooked. I'm always crooked. Just assume that. Okay, so we go all the way back here. That's our double center. Lines up with the spire. And... What's up?
Just getting stuck in my own block.
Okay, I want at least, let's see, 2, 3. Where do we put the floors here? I think I'm going to make this library way too damn big, but maybe there is no such a thing? I don't know.
The Great Library.
I kind of want it to be that way. I want one of those daunting, like almost Harry Potter-esque kind of libraries, you know?
Yeah.
3, 4, 5. I'm actually not going to use Holy Stone anywhere inside the library, specifically because I want it to have different kind of lots of dark woods and light woods and some kind of metallic brass-like kind of trim, you know? I want it to be a different feeling than the rest of the actual building. 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we're going to have this, which means this. Oh god.
Behave, carpenter's block. Behave.
Never. Okay, that's going to be... Trunks is here! Hey, Trunks. Hi, Trunks. Trunks and Preacher and Greylock. Hey, Taylor Bane. I hope I didn't butcher your name. Thank you very much for subscribing. Yeah, Dark Preacher. Trunks. Greylock. A7X Shadows. Sean W. Com. So many of these guys. Shadow Star. So many of these guys are basically my right-hand men, so to speak. The pack would not exist. VC3 would not exist if without those guys. Because maintaining Season 2 was bad enough by myself. I didn't want to do a Season 3 pack. I was ready to pick something off the shelf. Really was. But I had a whole bunch of people step up, volunteer, and we have VC3 now, and Season 4 is already being planned. It's crazy. It's madness. We'll talk to you later, sir, and I will get those picks to you in a few hours. Thank you very much for your plays. I think I missed you. Sorry, but thanks for joining the stream. TARDIS is cool, but I want to build in a real world. That's why I decided against an RF Tools dimension as well. Actually, Sven, if you do search for a Google search for RF space tools, overworld dimension or mining dimension, you'll get a back page that's on the wiki for the RF Tools GitHub, and he's got a list of how to replicate the overworld, your standard overworld world gen, in an RF Tools dimension, if that makes sense. So yeah. I need a builder's wand, and I don't want a super crazy one. Oh my god, hacks, he says. Thank you very much. Okay. I just remembered, I don't like that builder's wand. I like this one better. Let's go back here. Already charged. Epic, epic, epic. Okay. Let's go back up to the front here real quick. There's points where I need to stop building and start thinking and just kind of look at how things are shaping, you know? Nintendo fan. Dude, Nintendo fan 37. I remember Nintendo fan way back from the Resonant Rise days. Dude, how'd your YouTube channel go? How many have you been sticking to it, or have you been busy with school and whatnot? Chris Jackman's here. It's going good, man. We got the roof up. Look at this. I've got dudes helping me flesh out the roof. It's gonna be amazing. Yeah, I haven't seen Nintendo fan in a long time. Life has been crazy. How about yourself, Greylock? Yeah. Sven, the TARDIS connection thing works with logistics pipes, I think. I'm thinking about adding the LP. Yes, it does, Sven. If you actually make a TARDIS landing pad, you can use it as a connection to your TARDIS when you dock it. So your TARDIS LP system will connect to the rest of storage in a base. It's cool. Yep, school got you busy, Nintendo fan, dude. Yeah, I remember you from way back on the Resonant Rise server. You had this big tree base that you kind of expanded out from, and there was a point where you basically just kind of built straight over a river. It's like water be damned. You had your base right across it. It was great. Don't forget to indent your windows. We will be doing that, Chris Jackman. Thank you very much. Stephen Burns says, lunch break over. Vaygrim live stream picks acquired. Yep. So, I am wondering if I need to curve this wall a little bit. Take this down here. And then we're going to do a little bit of that, a little bit of, oh gosh. That, and then that. Subtle indication. Not just a hard corner. That's what I'm trying to avoid. We're going to be putting in some skylights on the front half. Sven, thank you very much for subscribing, Sven. Don't forget, by the way, if you're watching on gaming.youtube.com, I've got that sponsor button down there. I do this as a full-time job. This is how I pay the bills, bringing entertainment to the masses. So don't forget, you can actually support me directly, or you can support me on patreon.com/Vaygrim. And in general, help me pay the bills and keep doing what I do. Yes, your tree burnt down twice. I do remember that also, Nintendo fan. Yep, I think I like that better. These hard corners suck. Okay, which means over here, take this down. We get a little bit less of a hard finish to things. Yep, Nintendo fan goes all the way back to when I started off on the Resident Rise server, and I was hanging out with the likes of Bebo LJ and Aiko the Builder. That's where I met Corianche. That's where I met Udaldor. So many other people. Trunks, met Trunks there. Yeah, lots and lots of people. We had a guy named Poppycox that didn't do YouTube, but really should have, because he was one of the best builders that I knew. The guy was amazing. He made this sewage treatment plant that looked like a sewage treatment plant, like legit. It was great. Okay, I think that looks better. Welcome, new sponsor, Sven. Thank you very much, Sven, for the sponsorship. Corianche trolled your base big style. Yep. Man, the cannons. Wait, what? Never mind. Jacob Vermeer. Hey, what's going on, man? Have you gotten things sorted out yet? I've been trading emails with Jacob. Sven has more cannons than Preacher. Okay. Let's see if we can get this pulled across here real quick. Here, kitty boo. We are still listening to Approaching Nirvana. It is now Fade Away. Really need to pay attention to where I'm going. Go down here and pull this across. Awesome. Strider is going to work. Okay, so that's going to be the back wall. Now it's got a little bit less of a hard corner to it, a little bit more of a curve, but I might put some guttering up into that curve. Maybe some slightly darker posts, microblocks. YouTube gaming is being a pain in my backside, says Jacob Vermeer. I'll see if I can find an email for somebody that I can actually help you figure things out. Or option number 2, there's actually a YouTube gaming Discord. If Dark Preacher doesn't have it, Doggeth has it, but I will find a link and post it on my Discord server. Yes, it is double roof. Oh, Dark Preacher, that hurts, man. Be fast, wrenched quicker than Vaygrim in round 1. Dark, I did not need to be reminded of that. Yep. Corianche placed radios under Super Nintendo fans' floors and behind the walls. See, Morbits remembers, man, that was great. We actually had the radios from the Portal mod, and they would play the Portal theme song when you turned them on, and Corianche basically hid them all over Nintendo fans' base. It was fun. Yeah, we'll get you hooked up, Jacob. If I can't get it to you, I will email you a link to their Discord server after. Here, it's a public Discord server. So yeah, so basically, we have, an inner roof and an outer roof. Let me go over here and explain. We are going to have skylights, and basically what I'm going to have to do is cross-connect solid, I want solid block, basically, of glass all the way up to the skylights on the outside roof. And we're going to line them up later. I'm not worried about it right now. It just looks a little ugly right now. So you come around here. This is going to be a solid wall. Let me get my... Nope. Whoa. There we go. This does not make sense right now. It will make sense in a little bit. Whoopsie, went too far. I love, oh, did I? No, I didn't go on. I didn't go too far. Hooray! Okay. So this is not actually where the roof is going to cut off, but this is what it's going to look like. You're actually not going to see it. It's going to slope up this way, though. This roof here is going to have internal, it's going to have wood structure like this stuff that's going to slope up this way. So sitting here, you're actually going to see a little bit of a steeple. Now, what we're actually going to be seeing are a peaked roof. And the reason we're doing that is because behind here, there's actually going to be a tube cross-connecting the glass here to the glass outside. And we're going to line it on the outsides. So when you're on your other side of that window looking up, you'll just see straight outside. It's not going to look like a super thick thing of glass. You won't see all the depth to it. It'll just look like a skylight, basically. And it's going to work. It's going to work. I swear. It's just one of those things where we have to get a lot of infrastructure done before we can actually, no. Do it. I need to retro, oh gosh. Hit some of this. This is going to be a big wall. Yep, all the way across. Ah! No, bad. Wow, totally broke the wrong one. Let's do that. Let's do that. Do that. Betting 1,000 today. Okay, and this is going to be solid. Dark Preacher says, I still beat you in Mind Stones. Never forget. Yeah, Kieran Dave's still out there working hard. He works more than he does modpack stuff nowadays, though. I remember a Forgecraft series where Dyer had a prank war and the other guy placed like 1 million crickets behind his walls. Yep, I remember that. That was horrible. All the progress on the Cathedral, by the way. Keep up the good work. Thank you very much, Jacob. It's awesome. Yeah, also, yeah, I met Seiss there. Seiss is still one of the best builders I know. I try to get him out of his shell every once in a while to do some building, but he's a busy guy. He's got his real world stuff going on. He might be getting back into recording soon, says Morbets, which is awesome. Seiss 2, the return of the Shoop. Yeah, Jiba, thank you very much. Jiba says, ooh, the inside is looking nice. I'm going to be putting something in set here. I don't know what yet, but it's going to be probably more carpeting to offset this. This is the inside, and what you're going to see when you stand here is I want you to be able to stand here, middle pathway, and look up, and there's going to be a direct line straight up that's just going to be skylight. And you will see it lined on the inside with the solid wood that's used from the outside. Right? Then, up here, so this is basically going to have, there's going to be just a line of blocks and whatever. There's probably going to be a solid wall right here. Up above, this is going to stay dead space up here. And this is actually going to have walkways and catwalks going over here. There'll be some stairs going up and going over, and this is supposed to be kind of secret space, hidden space. There's a lot of dead space in between the roofs, the inside interior roof and the outside roof. Basically, when you see a lot of these cathedrals, it's not like, it's very much like standard houses are done. The ceiling of a room is not the roof outside. There is attic space and dead space in between those barriers. And we're going to do the same thing here, specifically because there is a lot of space in here for running things like, maintenance of the windows, maintenance of the stained glass windows, maintenance of the roof on the inside as well as the outside, and so on and so on and so on. So yeah, it's going to be really good. It's just going to be like, this is going to be a solid wall all the way across up here. So when you're in here, you're going to be enclosed. There's supposed to be less light in here, in this back part right here. It's supposed to be better lit in here and feel more outside. And like when you come around to here, it's going to be even more outsidey because we're going to have these open. There's no glass going here. These are going to stay open. And this is going to come down into a sunken garden area. There, it's done, says Strider. The outside's done? Holy cow.
I think it is.
Let me get out here. Hang on a sec. Wow. That's
Holy
gonna
crap.
look, yeah, it's gonna look really good. We just need to take some light gray light gray dye to it, and I'll do the sloping, the dotting parts. We just make the whole top light gray dye, and then I'll start doing the dotting. You know, the parts where it's dripped down over the edges. But yeah, that's our roof, ladies and gentlemen. Does the Holy Stone still make the horrible tinking sound when you walk on it? It makes a tinking sound when you put it down. I don't hear the tinking sound when you walk on it. It does make a noise, though. Enjoy your 5 minutes out. What? I missed something. The mods took care of it. I don't care. I want to do some sort of ruins type build, where below the ruins is this super high-tech area. Sounds very cool, Julian. I'd like to see that. Lots of dead space in between the ceiling and the outer roof. That's the point. What I want to do, Ajiba, is actually there is some chisel blocks that look like crates, and I want to pile up some crates up there, like older stuff from, you know, previous generations using the churches, the church space, storage for the church, things of that nature. But I want to kind of make some secret kind of space up there, like it's somebody that might actually, you know, Hunchback of Notre Dame style might be living up there. Let's see, I'm actually going to use great wood planks all the way across on this. I don't want holy stone in back here because it's just too bright. And I don't actually think, let's put you there. I'm not sure what I want to use here yet. I think great wood. Gonna be a little lighter, but not quite. It's gonna have an iron reinforced offset. Maybe it'll look like it's weathered. That's that, basically. Yeah, there's a mod in our pack. It's either Thaumic Bases or Thaumic Horizons. I can't remember which. But it adds a whole bunch of Thaumic Bases. Yeah, it adds a whole bunch of stabilizer blocks for altars, and it's awesome. The roof had coffee spilled on it. I used to make this awful sound when you walked on it. It would drive me nuts, says Jiva. Just noticed the dire marker in VC3. I can use this to plan my compound. I have an idea how to add a bit to it, some carpenter's blocks and things. Yeah. Thank you, Jiva. Stick a peck in the attic space. You're going MC Hunchback. That's actually a pretty good idea, KC. Yeah. Peck or petch. I don't know how to say that. I always say peck because I have no clue. These are exposed stairs. They are exposed to the outdoor elements. So we want them to look a little bit more reinforced, a little bit more hardened. Maybe weathered in points. We can actually double some of them up. Make them a little chunkier. Like maybe they weren't all done to the exacting standards they should have been. Okay. Now, one thing I want to actually do, need to get all of this off. I need those. I don't need those right now. I don't need those right now. I'm gonna go in here. Iron block. And I'm gonna do the iron strapping on these things. Like that. And then I need to get some logs. Ah. There we go. Then we just do them sideways. Both directions. Nope. Ah. There we go. You see, it's starting to come together. It's starting to look good. Cloud Fan, hey, what's going on, man? How you been? Peck sounds right to me. You can trust me. I'm secretly a dictionary, says Dynex. Thank you, Dynex. Am I going to add more of the buttresses to the outside wall, says Chris Jackman. Chris, I don't know if you saw this, but we actually have this kind of reinforcing right now so that we don't have too much coming from the outside. Now, I might change this and put an additional set of these on the outside, but they would be short because basically those beams would continue through down to here. Like, they'd come out right here-ish. So I don't know. I could do some higher up ones right here, but for the most part, I have this kind of like reinforcing on the outside, these footing, or feet, basically. I'm playing with the idea of making them this darker gray brick and generally seeing if that'll give it a bit more pop, you know? I like that idea. What I might do is that. And that. Yep. See you later, Morbits. Thank you for swinging by. Peck, pronounced Peck, is correct. You can trust me, I'm a Grimm fan. They come from Scottish mythology, says Greylock, so they'd be pronounced Peck like Loch. 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 Short ones would look good, and I like the darker color better, gives good contrast. Yep. So basically I can, like if we do... this, we do this, pop that there, pop that there, and then it's I'm gonna do that. Just go ahead and put these on, and then we can actually take care of this. We can do and then I want to do similar kind of a darker piping going up this corner that you see right here. An inset corner right there on the actual library corner. The front side of it. So, I think this will look really, really good. See if I can get this top one is always the hardest. There we go. Yep, so the guys are working hard, man. I got my patrons helping me, and they're hammering this place out. We'll have it in no time. I think I like the footings, the bigger, you know, set footings on the outside, reinforcing the lower edge of the wall. And I like that darker contrast. I think it looks good. Darker stone brick really makes it pop, looks better, I think, says Giva. Thank you very much. Totally agree with you all, says Casey. Sven, I plan to have 8 times 4 fields per level with harvesters per level and multiple levels for huge medical crops farm. That sounds like that's something in my pack, Sven. Yeah, I'm doing good, Cloudman. Thank you very much for asking. I'm coffee. I actually met a peck for the first time in my custom pack yesterday. That was before I plundered into a hungry node and loaded it back up. I've actually seen Peck before. I ran into Peck because in season 1 of Vaygrim's Chance, I settled next to a magical forest, and Peck started showing up very, very quickly. So yeah. Yeah, you can't play slabs sideways unless it's microblocks. So yeah, I'm cheating. This is a lot of microblocks, basically. I'm thinking about... natural wood posting for the flower beds. I think it would look really good. Treated wood posting for inset flower beds like this is pretty common. Has been for hundreds and hundreds of years, even if it wasn't treated. That will give a bit of contrast to the outside front. This is going to have to be one of those. And let's think, do we actually have a Garg statue? Let's look at statues. A statue of the goddess? I thought there were some more witchery statues. At witchery. Statue of the hobgoblin patron. Nope, that just looks like a small stone Steve. Does not look like a hobgoblin to me. Scarecrow. There's statue of the goddess. I really don't want to have to microblock my own gargoyle. That would be horrible. Let's look at DecoCraft real quick. Oh gosh, there's so much stuff in DecoCraft now. There's skeletons. A witchery ent appeared at my base recently. Mod pack says Dynamite Crown. This is the Vaygrim's Chance 3 mod pack. This is the internal test server for it, actually. Couldn't you use a fence post for the gardens in front? I could, however, since it's going to be raised, you have to remember, there is going to be, let's get some dirt. This is actually going to be the dirt level. So basically, you're going to be looking at raised flower bed, which is why I don't want to actually have fencing around the outside of it. If it was at ground level, then yes. That's what you're looking at. It's going to be grassed over already anyway. So, ta-da! That's what it should look like. Cost that. Okay. Dynex says hungry nodes, if fed and controlled properly, can be made into used energized nodes to provide all the centivis that you would ever need. Yeah, true. What about wrought iron fencing around the raised beds? You mean in addition to the posting? Because I mean, oh god, it's supposed to be raised, But if I'm at, you gotta remember, if I'm down here, and we have a fence around it as well, I'm not gonna be able to see into it. Unless I'm up here. But if I'm up here, I'm looking this way, not this way.
Holy crap, it's done.
Is what done?
Alright, inner roof is done.
Really?
Yeah, textures.
Oh, wow, it is. Holy cow. Yeah. Now, the hard part is going to be connecting the inside skylights to the outside roof, but we'll figure that out. Yeah, see, you're supposed to feel kind of like small, very wee. All these big beams coming up around you and rising walls. That's what it's supposed to feel like. You come up here, and you've got this sloping roof and this big, oh god, monolithic wall. I want to do some kind of a mosaic on this wall. I don't know how yet. Also, this wall is going to need to be a double wall because there's going to be other stuff. We're going to have to make it double or triple thick because we want to do insets in the library with little alcoves and stuff. So, yeah. Yep. Try garden containers, flower pots instead of the dirt, with garden soil inside. Hang on a sec. Garden containers. Did you at garden? Nope, I don't want you. Go back. Thank you. There's garden soil that you were talking about. Garden containers. Use the trowel, then you can put up to 9 plants per pot. Oh, yeah. I do realize that, but this is not dead set on how we're going to be using this. It's not going to be ordinary planting. We're going to be doing probably the... Wait a minute. I'm drawing a blank now. Is it the... I think this is what I'm thinking of, right? Yeah. And then you get the trowel with this, and what we can actually do... Is right, we do that. Then we could actually do another set. Like that. Right here, we could do ordinary, like, crops. Like, just ordinary stuff. So we break it up a little bit. Up here, we have garden planted stuff. Then we back here, do even more. So we could actually do multiple tiers. And that's what I kind of want. Large flower pots are going inside, Julian. They're not going to be out here. This is going to be mostly, I want it to be part decorative plants and part actual crops. That's supposed to be the point. So yeah, basically as long as you use the same color, they all and the same filler, because I think you can put sand in these also, they all cross connect. And I mean, if I wanted to, I could do Oh, God. Nope, that's wrong. Totally wrong. Get these out of the way. Do... Oh, gosh. There we go. Back here. I could keep it inset if I wanted to keep it all at kind of one level. But since we can, figured I miss all the clicking. Can do like that, and then I want to do the flower pots with the small trees inside. I'm not going to do those out here. This is going to be mostly normal plants and vines. But that way we actually have kind of a slope thing, and if I wanted to, I could be really radical about it. Ah. Or actually, hang on a sec. Hello, doggy. There we go. Rex22 says, I wish the swapping wand saved block NBT data. That would be nice, Rex. So now we have less of a blocky thing, right? So now if we want to recreate this whole experience over here. Block, 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 block. Oh, you can't fall on those things. It's funny. Doot, 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 doot. Wrong. We are past the 2-hour mark. I just noticed that. We're probably going to be wrapping up here real soon, ladies and gentlemen. Just so you know. But we have made tremendous progress today, and I do stress the word we. Big strides of what we've done today would not have been possible if it wasn't for my assistants. So big thanks to Strider and Erdani and Hades. Boom. Nice big contrast of tones against the actual front structure. It's going to give it a bit more color, a bit more vibrance. It's not too far off, since it's going to be lots of browns. It's not too far off from the roof and the central actual posts that maintain the place, but the plants themselves that go into it are going to give it some visual pop. I like the idea of dark iron fences around the gardens and the Greatwood Oak. That's been suggested several times. With a decorative flower pot, you could put in the netherrack, set it alight, and get a redstone output. What? KSU boss says hello. Hi, KSU. Okay, so wait a minute. Wrought. Everybody's talking about wrought iron fencing. The problem I'm going to have is right there, which means I would have to do this in order to cross-connect the fencing. I see what you're talking about, but it's also the fact that now, once I get this all in place, all of the plants behind here, I'm not going to be able to see them. And I don't actually like that. I want this. You have to remember that this is a community space. historically speaking, as much as it is a holy space, religious space, sacred space. It is one of those things where big chunks of church grounds were used for some of the first concepts of community gardens. And I see protecting the crops, but from this level right here, I wouldn't be able to see the plants behind the actual fencing. It would block off a big chunk of it. Samuel Davidson, what's going on? He's actually on the server. Ooh. So yeah, I do see the appeal of putting a fence around it, whether it's wrought iron or dark iron or whatever. But you have to remember that it would block a significant amount of the visuals from the plants that would be directly behind it. And I still want this to be accessible to people. Like I said, this is supposed to be, you know, historically, this would have been also a community space of sorts. It would have been something that would have been used for planting a lot of herbal stuff for the community, herbal medicines, natural medicines, and things of that nature. So yeah. There is a foundation in what I've been doing. Wow, this looks really... I think the front is... I mean, it's not done, but... That's as done as we've seen it done in a while. Whew.
Yeah. Makes it feel tiny.
Yeah, well, that's what I was hoping for. So here, I want to do some big footings, kind of like the ones on the inside, but I want to do a pillar on this inside only. So it's like you're only seeing two sides of a pillar, and I want it to go all the way up to this. The trouble is, I don't know what I want to use. I'm tempted to use the great wood like we do on the inside, but the footings need to be a little bit more, I don't know, chunky than this. This is going to be too small. We might have to do the old style footings that we had, the 3x3s, but just do basically do this and have the claw feet basically do that, and then you know, and then we could do I'm not dead set on this, I'm just spitballing. That would go all the way up, and we would put one of these right there. Oh god, that's totally wrong. Right? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Tie a little bit of the interior into the exterior. We are actually not going to have any external graves, except for, I think, one or two in the garden space on the inside, the side gardens. We are actually going to have a crypt underground. We are going to be digging under this space and making an underground crypt. It's going to be poorly lit, it's going to be creepy, and it's going to be awesome. Maybe some of the... oh, yeah. What I want to do, actually... is this kind of styling. What I'm probably going to do is get some of these bricks here, and I might do a little bit better of a backdrop over here, like swap some of them out. Like if we did something like... oh god, totally messed that up. Little bit of the front work. Oh, wrong one. Something like that, you know, a little bit more maybe. So it's not just this solid wall of color. Ooh, yes. Thank you, Aradani. That looks perfect. Yes. Keep doing what you're doing. We're just going to use normal brick on the rest of it on the outside. Those front steps are going to have to be super durable, but I do like that carpet going up the front middle.
He doesn't cross the textures.
Actually, if you stand front on or if you look directly down above them, it looks like a normal texture. It looks like a normal block.
Oh, true.
It doesn't all connect, no, but it still looks good. Questioning, if Crypt is poorly lit, couldn't that spawn some mobs? Samuel Davidson, this entire dimension is peaceful. Thank you, RF Tools. This is a special free build dimension that monsters literally cannot spawn in. It's great. Now, I did accidentally lock it to noon, and I didn't mean to do that, but I'll fix that later. Then carry a double pillar of that up to the roof. Ooh, what? Oh, a double pillar of the dark stuff all the way up? I don't know, because this is going to be visible on the inside as well, if I go any higher. See, this is floor level, so I could go all the way up to this level if I wanted to. But if I go up here, I'm inside one of the actual prayer alcoves in the gardens. Yeah, this is not the overworld. You guys have to remember, this is an RF Tools dimension. That's the front door. This is a separate dimension from the overworld. This is my normal testing server, so the overworld is normal. I think it's either set to easy or normal. I can't remember, but it's not really hard. It is standard rules, standard everything, whatever. This is a separate dimension specifically for the sake of getting the... I need wrought iron. Geronimo, there's the wrought iron block, which means we can go big chunky footings. So we're getting contrast, we're getting texture, we're getting depth. There's also going to be that half block treatment that I did, the slabs, is going to be going around this archway. So the archway is going to actually have a kind of a 3D pop to it. It's going to have depth on the outside. It's not just going to be this normal archway, because I want to do some detail work above it, between it and the roof line. I just don't know what detail work yet. That's the thing. Cooking apple. Hey, what's going on? Microblocks and have the outside of the dark. Actually, what I could do is actually use carpenter's blocks and have the outside be dark. I can do that. That is the thing. Put this... Let's put the wrought iron back. So if we get this, that up out of the way. I could do this. I am actually going to have to call the stream here soon. I need to do some more editing, and we're at the 2.5 hour mark. So I could do all the way up. We put that there. Then we put these in, and it looks normal. Then we get these, and we're putting a layer on the outside. Add. Ta-da! What do we think? melon and serrano ham. That sounds really good.
Ooh.
Thoughts? What are you doing to the stairs?
I'm trying an idea. Holy crap, my inventory's full.
Some people like it before, some people like it after. I do think it adds more color. I do think it adds more depth to things, but I do have to decide if I want to keep that or not. I can't do vines over carpenter's blocks that have side panels on them like that. That's one downside, which means that if I was going to do any vining over here, it would be strictly limited to outside of this area because I can't do it now. That counts as a block and a half, basically. But we can actually have a lot of vine work on the sides and on the inside, so that's not necessarily a horrible thing. I'm not sure if I like the limited steps or not. I don't know. It's kind of hard to say. I see the purpose behind them, but then we've got this dead space on either side of the doorway that we're going to do what with? More garden space?
Maybe, I don't know. I thought I'd try it, see how it would look.
I kind of like that concept of the big rounded, semi-rounded steps going around that front, you know? Like a big, that would be a big gathering place. I could see lots of people sitting on those steps all the way around at different points, public meeting space, just sitting over here, whatever, or, waiting for something to grow or somebody to finish working. This kind of feels more like limited, protected, isolated. I don't know. I see the inspiration, but I don't know. I do think maybe we need to use a different brick for the basis of the stairs, though, because it's basically just basically blending into the wall. Maybe we need to use those same indoor-outdoor stairs that we've got in the garden. I like the rail on the steps. Put small trees next to the steps. Silverwood trees, said somebody. I could see some trees there, but again, normally you wouldn't have a tree planted that close to a building, not a normal tree. You're going to box it, bonsai it, or limit it, because trees are pure evil when it comes to building foundations. Tree roots can destroy building foundations, even something this large. And that's something you gotta remember. So I would not normally have just a straight up tree growing right next to a building like that. When you're talking about like medieval or, older architecture like this, you're talking about like Gothic cathedrals and stuff. You're talking about them taking all the trees out of the space and then building it and then backfilling it if they did with gardens. So while I see the appeal of trees, it doesn't fit in with a lot of what I'm doing. Yeah, the rounded stairs have a bit more of a the kind of that half circle of stairs have a bit more of an open feeling to them, and that's kind of what I want. The big issue I'm seeing now is that we need to have a different block from the actual front wall than the stairs. That's the big problem I'm seeing. I just don't know why.
I just picked the stone bricks just because it was right there in front of me.
Yeah, it's something to work with quick. I tell you what, let's pause it here. We have made massive progress on things. I really do appreciate, we actually had Mr. Hades swing by for a while. I also appreciate Strider C and Erdani Tribal. Thank you very much, gentlemen, for helping out. Sugar High by Approaching Nirvana. Interesting. I am actually going to cut things off there, though. I think this is going to be a good stopping point, specifically because it's 2.5 hours. I still have some work I need to do in between this and this evening stream. In basically 3.5 hours time, I'm going to be streaming 7 Days to Die with a whole bunch of my friends, and we're probably going to have problems with zombies again. So come by, laugh, and enjoy our plight. Otherwise, let's swap over to base camp. thank you very much, everybody, for coming by. New sponsors all around. And in general, yeah, I see a lot of inspiration, a lot of great ideas being pitched in, which is one of the reasons why I'm having fun with this build, because I'm getting new ideas given to me by you, the community, and it's actually helping me, and I really do love this kind of stuff. It's giving me some great notions on things to work with. So yeah, in the meantime, more storage chests are being put down for all the crap we have to use. I'm going to say goodbye there. Thank you very much again, everybody. Thank you, gentlemen, for helping, and we will see you later this evening. Bye.